Hello everyone. So I've decided to record this video where I show you and tell you about the materials that you will need for drawing NeuroGraphica. So first thing is first, we need paper. Now within our drawing lessons, I recommend using an A4 format and white color. But for all other times, you're basically free to use any other paper, any other size and format and shape. For example, when I am working through quite complex, difficult topics, I tend to go for an A3 format. This is great when there's a lot involved and it's not just an easy topic to work through. When I'm traveling, for example, I bring along this little notebook. It fits into my luggage, into my handbag, and it's just easy to carry around. And there's space for my drawings, for my topics, and everything else. So this is a great option as well. When you're working with something that is not too important or too significant, a quick little task that you need to get through, you could even use something smaller like this. I've had instances where I've completed drawings on those sticky notes, and that's worked great as well. And then when we're feeling super creative, we could also draw on other colors. So I have some black paper here, and sometimes I choose to complete my drawings on something a little different like that. Now, next up, we have our markers. Now, with markers, I have a few things that I'd like to explain. So when you're a beginner in NeuroGraphica, we need to avoid using liners. So things like this, they are off limits for when you're just starting to practice NeuroGraphica. The reason being, lines that are created with these pens or liners are very hard to round off. So when we're just starting, we should start with something that is at least 1 millimeter thick. And it looks like this. These markers are really great to work with. They're not too thick, not too thin, and it makes it really easy to round off all of those little intersections. When we're working with our field lines, we should go for something a little thicker. Now, you see this marker in my lessons quite a bit. I love it. I buy this at a store called Daiso in Australia. Daiso, I think it's called. And I love how thick, how smooth, and how black it is. If you can't find something like this, then you could even go for a whiteboard marker. They also work just as great. And you can round off intersections with them as well. We, as beginners, we don't ever draw with pens, so nothing that is thinner than 1 millimeter. For coloring, I suggest using highlighters. Highlighters are great because of how vibrant and bright they are, and they're really easy to work with if you're someone who's not really into art. The other great option that we have is colored pencils, but with colored pencils, the one thing that you need to think of is their softness. So the softer the pencils, the better it is for you. Just easier to work with. In NeuroGraphica, we don't work with paint, crayons, pastels, and metallic colors, metallic pens. Metallics are off limits for one simple reason: you can't blend them. With paint, why we don't use paint? Fine motor skills are extremely important in NeuroGraphica. So what we are after is these strokes, the movement of our hand. This is why we use highlighters or pencils, okay? And that's pretty much it. So what you need is some paper of any size and format, some black markers for all your lines and your field lines, some highlighters, or some soft colored pencils. And that's it.